Nahara, here in this strange place of the Feywild, high atop this towering tree and surrounded by these unusual children, the Getaway Gang, you all have been tasked with a rescue mission. Save some nearby children who have been taken into custody by the hag that runs thither, Skabatha Nightshade. In exchange, they would show you the way that you could meet the sad unicorn who would be able to lead you to Zybilna in ultimate victory. As you are standing here, though, you feel a familiar presence nearby, standing off in the shadows, out of eyeshot and earshot of all the others.
I'm just going to slowly back into the hedges, a la Homer Simpson, just to where I hear this or I feel this presence.
As you move a little closer, the first thing you see is Granny's gnarled hands resting on a walking stick before her withered old face comes into view with a smile. Ah, hello, darling Nahara.
Hello, Granny. What can I help you with?
Oh, you've already helped me with a great deal, and in fact, I believe it is I who may be able to help you.
Oh, you saw that back there, did you?
Oh, I like to keep my ear to the ground, or the wood, as it were, here. I also saw that you all put my dear, sweet sister, Blavorna Blightstraw, on the run, made her abdicate hither. Ha ha ha! Good work.
I thought you might appreciate that.
Oh, yes. You know, my favorite part of it was the fact that you all showed her mercy, that she must live with her defeat. Ha ha ha! Unfortunately,
Yes, I'm sure.
there is a small problem.
Yes.
Because you let her live to wallow in her shame, she has run ahead to inform her other two sisters, and I fear they wish to do something to Zybilna that may not be reversible, so you and your friends should probably move along.
I thought we distinctly told her no doing that.
Well, you know, hags lie sometimes.
Oh, but not you, I would imagine.
Oh, me as well, really. It's just not to you, my darling. And she does reach out and touch one of your hands with her leathery, knotty, old withered hands herself. Not to you, Nahara.
Of course not.
You've become very special to me, and in the fullness of time, we'll be able to work wonders even greater than I can, I believe. But not if you don't make it out of this place. Can you muster your friends? Go now?
We shall do so, but I should tell you that we're about to go rescue some children. One of them seems very suspicious, however. I believe Valentine had some insight into this boy who happens to be a giant with gray skin and long claws. I'm sure it's not.
You see, she turns and she looks at Will of the Feywild, and she's like, oh, that does seem to be an unusual lad. Oh, I think I understand what's going on with that one. He's cursed.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
So somehow the terrible part of this is he has to be a boy, or the other way around?
Apparently, actually, his kind aren't usually the type to want to look after lost children. I think given his own devices, he'd just as likely swallow them. How terrible must that be to be cursed to act nice?
It's very unpleasant at times.
She looks to the left and to the right, and she leans into you and she says, "He is an Oni."
Oh.
Towering, long fangs, long claws, horrifically evil. Normally my kind of creature, if I'm being honest with you, but, he seems to have lost track of all of that. I'll tell you, if you wish for a little bit of fun.
Always.
When you reach that unicorn, where it resides, the water around it is healing and pure. The water can remove curses if you go out and bathe in it. Perhaps you could take this away from him. Wouldn't that be fascinating?
I see. Does he deserve to be uncursed? Do you know? I really know nothing about this, child.
I'm going to leave this up to you, Nahara. Call it a moral quandary. You have a truly terrible being who's being forced to do good. What is a greater punishment, to leave him as is or to restore what he once was?
Well, if anything, I could use that as an incentive to take us to the place we need to go.
Yes. About these children. Yes, my sister, Skabatha Nightshade, has them nearby. She puts them to labor, making toys. I don't know that we can risk the time necessary for you all to go and liberate them, so perhaps I might be of some assistance.
Oh, you would do that for me?
In exchange for a small consideration, yes.
There it is.
Ah, you are learning quickly, my beauty. But I assure you my price will be very fair.
Oh, well, if we're leaving this to a future decision, I think I'll have no choice but to accept your kind, generous offer to help.
I, in the interest of friendship, and dare I say maybe even sisterhood, although I hate my sisters and I do not hate you, I will tell you what it is that I request. When you find Zybilna, when you liberate her, make sure she knows that when my sisters turned against her, I helped and was instrumental in her restoration.
I shall absolutely make that clear to her.
Do me a favor. Turn and hold your hand out over the land outside. That clearing right down there.
All right.
And as you do this, all of you see a light erupt from Nahara's hands and fly down into the clearing. And in an explosion and flash of scintillating colors and sparkles, a group of about 12 children appear. They're in filthy clothes, or some of them clearly were right in the middle of something, and they turn around and they're like, what? Ah! Yay! We're saved! And all the kids rush up to the rail, and Will turns and looks at you, Nahara, with his wild, unkempt hair. You did that? You just brought them here?
Yes.
You could have just brought them here whenever you wanted?
No. It had to be the right conditions, which happens to be now.
Well done, Nahara. Well done indeed.
Thank you. I've been working on this.
You see Sloane, the wood elf girl, and Zenor, the orc, kind of walk up to you, and the orc looks at you, Nahara, like she very much is going to square up. She's like,
The highest praise. Yes. Thank you.
and with that, hello and welcome to the Black Dice Society, episode 30, although if we're being fair, our numbering convention has got a little wonky. Maybe it's 30, maybe it's 32, depends on how you want to look at it. The truth of the Raven Crown. Tonight is our season 1 finale. I will tell you now, we will be back on December 16th for a holiday special. But after this, we are going to be taking a little bit of break, and hopefully we'll be back soon, early next year. But fear not, we got a lot to get through tonight, and maybe, pending how this all goes down, y'all are going to need a little bit of a break after all of this is wrapped up. As always, this is a Ravenloft stream, which means it is a horror stream. As such, we might deal with some characters and situations and circumstances that don't normally come up in a D&D stream. As always, I am aware of the cast lines and veils. We have a system of safety tools in place where they can let me know if something is happening that is making them uncomfortable. If that happens, we will change immediately. So if we ever stop mid-scene or something shifts abruptly, that might be why. Thank you to all of our sponsors. Thank you in particular to Idle Champions, because a certain somebody, me, forgot again to queue up the Idle Champions code. And now I don't have to do it for like a month, which means y'all know when we come back, I'ma forget again. We should have the Idle Champions code coming up in chat right now. The exclam code command probably will not work. I literally thought of it about 2 minutes before we went live, but the code should be appearing. If somebody can give it to me, I will read it out loud. I might already have it. But if I get it in chat, I will read the code for you out loud.
It's been updated for you.
Oh, it's been updated?
We handled it.
It's perfect. Well, what is the code so I can give the verbal component, unless you would like to, disembodied ghost of V?
It is BDS season end.
Ah, perfect. How apropos. Ooh, again, I haven't mentioned this in a while, but it is true, by the way. Please do like, comment, share on these videos. It really does help us. It really does affect the algorithm. Whether you're watching us live, watching the VOD, it really does make a meaningful difference. Thank you to Die Hard Dice, as always. Our custom character sets are sold out. We do still have some of the Black Dice Society sets. And either way, even if you go to buy something else dope, you can use code BDS at checkout. You'll still get 10% off your order. Still a way to support the show. To Warriors of Waterdeep, also the code should be appearing in chat there. Keep an eye out when you're playing Warriors of Waterdeep. You might see pictures of some of these fine characters sprinkled around the game. Our TeePublic store is of course live. You can get masks, bags, pillows, notebooks, mugs, anything you can think of in our TeePublic store. Secret Lab chairs. Of course, you know I love mine. How many times can I say it? Cannot recommend it highly enough. If you've been thinking about it, especially because it's Christmas time, getting one for yourself, getting one for somebody else, maybe that whole Black Friday thing, you can use our affiliate link, and we would appreciate that. And also, exclam BDS art. You can still get some of our museum quality art prints of Adam Schubert's incredible art of all of us. And also, every time we make a sale, we make a donation to World Builders. So you are not just purchasing something dope, you are helping to make a difference in the world and end global hunger. Of course, we have a Patreon. You can get access to side adventures with every single one of these wonderful characters, DM tips from me, our exclusive after show. We've done bonus adventures. We will continue to do them. We also will not be charging in the month of December. So even if you sign up now, you're not going to be billed in December because, you know, we wanted to free up a couple dollars for you to go spoil the people that you love. So we appreciate your support. Thank you so much there. Last but not least, just thank you all for coming on this ride with us. Thank you to the cast. I know it sounds like I'm saying goodbye and we won't be back. We will. I just wanted to take this moment as we're about to bring this arc of the narrative to the close. It has been a long road for us to get here, and it has been incredible, and I cannot think of 6 human beings I would have rather taken this voyage with besides you all. Bonus 7th human being with V Muse here. So thank you all so much, and thank you all for watching and literally making it possible to do what we do. My very last note before we dive into this is these last few episodes have been derived from the Wild Beyond the Witchlight adventure. There is no way for me to do this proper justice. It really is incredible, and I'm going to be using elements of this story now as we bring ours to conclusion. It is very much kind of a cherry-picked cliff notes of this, but if you get a chance to play this incredible scenario at your table, please do. And with that... Oh, we haven't introduced who you beautiful people are. I got so verklempt talking about things that I didn't even give the hellos and who y'all is. Brother Uriah.
Oh, hello. My name is Mark Muir. I use he, him pronouns, as does my character, Brother Uriah Macabre, cleric of the grave and worshipper of Ezra, Lady of the Mists.
And Nahara.
Hello, everyone. I'm Nora Ibrahim. You can find me everywhere on the internet at Noralogical. And my pronouns are she, her, as is my character, Nahara, who is a reborn, undead, fallen Azamar, warlock, and also a little bit of a College of the Spirit bard.
It's a lot of adjectives, but I'm for it.
So many words.
Finn.
Hey, I'm Tanya, Cypher Tier. I play Fen, your Drow Dump here. Blood Hunter with a little bit of Warlock. I had to think for a second, and a tiny little bit of Beast in there. Both Fen's pronouns and mine are she, her.
Excellent. Tatiana?
Oh, a surprise. Okay. Well, I am Tatiana. She, her pronouns, both me and my controller. I am a barbarian, bear totem, as well as druid of the moon. Together, these are very OP. You do not want to fight me. Also, I worship, not Ezra, but food and feasting and some other stuff. And that's me. And happy last episode, everybody.
I was about to say, that's you, Becca, but who's Tatiana?
I don't know. Hi, I'm Becca Scott. Find me on the internet. And go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/goodtimesociety. Plug done.
Also, perfect. Valentine.
Hi, hello. I am Sage Ryan. I go by Not Sage or Pixel Circus everywhere on the internet. And tonight I am playing Valentine. Valentine is a reborn aberrant mind sorcerer, and we both use she, her pronouns.
Excellent. Desmond.
Oh, hi. I'm DJ Knight. I play Desmond, a human ranger lycanthrope, who is a fan of, beasting out. I go by he, him. So does Desmond. That's us. You're awesome. Thanks for being here.
It's a feature, not a bug. And last but certainly not least, weathering travel and catastrophic technical failure, the disembodied voice of the ghost of Voronika.
Hey, everyone. I'm V Muse, and how appropriate that I am your Eladrin, ghosty girl, druid, Nika. You can find me pretty much anywhere as V Muse on the interwebs. And I am so excited for this evening. So thank you so much for bearing with me with the dark void that I am tonight.
And I guess the plug section would not be complete if I didn't say that you can catch me tomorrow on G4 TV for Invitation to Party, the first TTRPG on television. So we're going to go break some new ground tomorrow, 3 o'clock. So you can catch us on Twitch and YouTube tomorrow. You can catch us on TV on Monday at a time that you would think I'd know, but I got other stuff happening. I got to get through tomorrow. Then I can figure out what's going to be on TV on Monday. But for now, let us journey back into the mists. You all stand there as these children appear in a shower of sparkles and glitter to jubilant cries and cheers of everyone around.
Jubilant cries and cheers!
Oh, this is amazing. Nahara, you should just do that whenever we have to do something. Just point your finger and make it happen.
Yes.
Can you do that?
Yes, sure. Absolutely.
Oh, this is...
I did all of this. Thank you. You're welcome, children. You're welcome. Heroes. Your heroes have arrived.
You all hear Little Oak, the gargantuan treant, who you all are in the clubhouse near his head. Everything begins to creak and lean as he clearly is leaning down to face these children. As the other four, as Will, Bobby, Sloan, and Zenora go running out and swinging and rappelling down the ropes to run out and hug and embrace these other lost children. And you just hear the of him coming down, which Desmond and Voronika both understand that in Sylvan, Little Oak is highly thanking you for saving these kids.
Oh, but of course, I mean, they're children. Why wouldn't we help them?
Happy to help.
I think I should, speaking of helping the children, I'll see if any of them need any sort of medical attention. Are any of them wounded or injured beyond, say, malnutrition?
Give me a medicine check, Brother Uriah.
While making jubilant cries, Tatiana just ran in the middle of them and started picking as many of them up as she could, and then like kind of just like wrestling around with them. It's real cute.
Tatiana.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
You definitely see Zenora, the orc, mean mugging you again. Like, she still wants it, though. But doesn't really stop you.
I ignore her. I put her in her place when I turned into a snake and wrapped around her, and now I have no more wild shapes, but it's fine.
Yes, Brother Uriah.
There's a total of 18 on a medicine check.
Brother Uriah, you can tell they seem like they've been fed sufficiently. They all definitely look a little tired. They kind of have, some sort of rings around their eyes. You can tell that they've been worked hard, but they don't look like they've been harmed. But the strangest thing that you get from them, and you get this from all of them, is it doesn't make sense, Brother Uriah. They're clearly children. You can see them. They're children. But as you inspect them and sort of like the striations in their hair, the wear on their teeth, their fingernails and fingerprints, their bodies show signs of long wear, even though they're kids. Like, they're much older than they look. All of them are.
Yes. I suppose the Fae could have the effect of preventing them from aging, and then the wear and tear on their bodies over accumulated years or even decades. I'm trying an insight roll to see, do they seem overly traumatized by this?
You can give me insight.
That will be total of 24.
Roll for trauma.
Roll for trauma. We're going to be rolling for trauma. You definitely get the distinct sense that their happiness with being free is all real and genuine. I mean, like, they definitely have been through something rough, but they seem to be bouncing back pretty quickly, and they all seem genuinely happy. Even Will.
Yeah, so they don't seem to be something that they're not, like something that lives forever but looks like a child.
No, they all indications are they really are kids, but you definitely are getting evidence that like they've been out here a long time. So those two pieces of data don't quite link up. Like you said, maybe they just don't age in the Feywild. That is possible.
Is there anything that healing magic could do to help this wear and tear on their bodies?
Except for just a couple of little bumps and bruises that you can fix almost effortlessly, they don't really seem like they've been hurt. Like, they don't show any like physical signs of damage.
Very well. I'll inform the others of what I noticed regarding the.
Desmond passes along that he does remember that the ringleader kid, the oldest, was not what he seemed?
Yes. I thought it might be a similar situation with them, but I don't get that sense. I think these actually are children. I'm not quite sure what he is.
About that. And I just kind of like gesture for everybody to like kind of huddle in closer.
I shake the children off as I come to join.
That one over there, because, you know, Nahara can't remember her own past. She's not going to remember a kid's name. That one over there is under a curse and is actually an Oni. So.
Oni?
Yes.
What's an Oni?
Would Nahara know what an Oni is?
Give me, for the same reason that she can't remember your past. Nah, not really.
I don't know, but that's what was shown to me. But it can be undone in the waters that are surrounding the unicorn that we are looking for.
An Oni sounds like a bad thing. Wouldn't you prefer a human child?
I don't know.
I'm not sure that we should return him to his original form if he is in fact monstrous.
Hold on, did you say there's water that removes curses?
Yes.
That's
right. Mm-hmm.
I'm Shadow that attacks me. Maybe you could not attack me?
Do you know where there's water that does this?
Well, he has to lead us to the unicorn first, and according to what I was shown, the water that surrounds that unicorn would have those healing properties.
Plus, we get to see a unicorn?
There's that.
Also that, Desmond.
Desmond, this is the best day. A double high five, Desmond.
However,
And he's just like happily, like, you had me at unicorn.
we do need to head out.
Now?
Now, you mean?
Yes.
Right now?
I mean, we need to head out there as soon as we can.
Very well. Do you know what, Tatiana, your shadow has actually been remarkably well behaved lately.
It's only because I've been behaving myself. When I try and do more things and attack more things, I think that's when it gets angry.
You all do notice behind her, her shadow very much strikes a like act natural type when you say that it's been well behaved. Yeah.
I spoke to him. It is definitely exhibiting suspicious behavior.
Where?
Doing that, sort of lean on a thing, and you weren't leaning on anything. So, yes, suspicious behavior.
I've never seen a shadow act nonchalant.
Yes, I'm sure if it could whistle, it would.
Valentine.
Well, you can't whistle. I get in its face against the wall, and I just start yelling. You wish you could whistle. You will never be a whole construct. You're just a shadow.
I don't know if provoking it is the best idea.
Don't worry. It can't do anything unless I do something, and I do it badly.
The moment you turn back, Tatiana, it definitely pushes the back of your head.
Oh, I think it might have heard us talking about the water.
Well,
Just act natural. Just lean on something.
I didn't even notice anything happened.
Valentine, you hear Tregram speak up. Again, it's like a long distance. Like, it's harder for him to talk to you here. Valentine, hi. Just a quick check-in. I know Tatiana wishes to be free from her shadow, which is quite understandable. It has been quite cumbersome at the wrong time, but you wouldn't want to be free from me, would you?
Do you consider yourself a curse?
Well, I consider myself a blessing. No.
Does magic consider you to be a curse?
I don't think so. I have no idea whether or not some magic water could, of course, separate our union. I don't believe it would. I was just more interested in, is that even something that you would want?
Tregram, answer this for me. If we were separated, I I would die, wouldn't I?
I like to think that we're friends, Valentine. The truth is, I don't actually know. I don't think so. I live to serve, and I don't mean that metaphorically. I mean I actually exist in your service. So,
Right. Well, you have nothing to worry about, Tregram. I wouldn't dare lose you.
Valentine, you feel an unusual warmth, like a smile coming from Tregram.
That's odd. Stop it.
I forget myself. Yes. Yes. Well, let us be about our business so we can leave this horribly green, cheerful place.
Couldn't agree more. Could you do a little digging on this water?
I will do what I can. My reach is limited here. But I will do my best to serve both you and the almighty Godbrain. All hail the Godbrain.
All hail.
As you all are standing there, after a moment, you see Will does come over. He's brown skin and wild-haired. There's sticks and twigs all through it. I mean, honestly, he looks like how Desmond looked as a boy and how Tatiana looks most days now. As he comes walking up to you, and he's like, well, I don't know how you did it, but a deal is a deal. I will guide you to the wayward pool.
All right, then. That seems easy. Everything is seeming concerningly easy, isn't it?
It's far too easy.
Thank you, Fen.
I mean, I could not lead you there. I mean, I showed it to you from the top of the train.
We'd prefer that you did it.
You just get there a little bit faster if I can. That's all. So you don't mind if I let the others stay here? I mean, that we got to get these new kids checked in now. We got to make sure they get fed, get some soup in their bellies. And I'll take you over there. Mm-hmm. It's I've seen Lamorna once or twice. She's really shy though. She hadn't been herself since what happened to Eladon.
So she's familiar with you?
I mean, she lives in the woods. I live in the woods. She didn't take a lot of visitors, though. It's really hard to get to her.
Quite frankly, having someone familiar of sight might help us.
I mean, you guys just did this for... I don't even know what magic you used to do that. I don't even... What's your name, angel lady?
Nahara.
It's... Well, we told the kids that an angel saved them. I hope that's
very sweet.
Well, if you're ready to roll, we can hit it right now.
Lead the way.
Yes, I think so. Yes.
And you all, the kids stop and they all just wave very happily. Bye-bye. You catch Tatiana. You catch Zenor is happily smiling and looking at the other kids. And Sloane sort of elbows her. And she looks at you
I lean down and I whisper to Zenor, "You are my favorite. Never give up your stubbornness." And then I push her and run away.
You all take off. Important point of clarification before we move on. Star, the Displacer Beast kitten. Do you all intend to take her with you or leave her with Will?
Oh, I'm taking her.
And take Star?
Oh, yeah.
We had promised its mother to return it, yeah?
Yes.
Will just pipes up and he's like, well, I mean, you guys just did a solid for us. I mean, if you want me to take her back to the camp, I'll do that. I mean, I give you my word, I'll do it. Or you can take her with you. Whatever seems right to you.
I'll try an insight roll to see if...
I would also like to.
You can all insight.
Okay, I
While they're
believe you.
inciting-
Her mother's...
Okay.
Her mother is at the Lost and Found. Don't forget, if you get lost, just go to Lost and Found, and then you'll also be in the right place.
Finn, while they're inside, what's Finn doing?
while they're inciting, I've picked up the Displacer Beast kitten and put it on my shoulder, and I'm giving it pets.
You're getting 6 legs worth of biscuits.
That is, you know what? That feels great because like my dread form, my wings kind of hurt.
Yeah. Valentine and Uriah, what were your insights?
18.
I got 26.
18, 26.
17.
17. You detect no deception from him. When he says he will take her back to her mother, he's not lying to you.
I
I don't care.
Well, now come, Fen. There's a mother that's been separated from its child.
Aren't we going back eventually?
I guess that's the
With the
question.
Witchlight Carnival, we kind of beat up the people who run it before we left.
Yes, it might be a bit awkward to turn up there again. Although we did put other people in charge, so it's hard to say. But
I just don't have the heart. They look so cute together.
it might be
Biscuits,
best.
though.
It might be best to keep the cub out of harm's way, though. Yes.
Unless the cub can fight. I don't know. I have no cat in this fight.
But it's so cute.
How fast do they grow?
Desmond and Tatiana, you can both give me nature or survival.
I have the feeling Desmond might have an idea of something. I was in that one though, so
Oh,
doesn't look like anything
gosh.
to me.
No, seems legit.
On me?
I know you're like, is
Oh.
it gonna grow? I don't know. It's got 6 legs and tentacles.
I got
man.
it.
Does
All
it
bets
eat?
are off.
It
10.
might get bigger.
10.
At some point.
Yeah.
Well, Tatiana's been around. Tatiana's traveled, and has been a part of a gladiatorial competition, many places. Which oftentimes has all sorts of spectacle battles. Dillagroth is already way bigger than most Displacer Beasts already, and can talk, which is also odd. So it will probably take this cub years to reach full size. It'll be little for a long time.
I know her mom. She is badass. She is very big. And also is the only one I know that can talk. But, well, maybe we make a pit stop. Finn, you look so happy. I've never seen this happiness on you before. So
And
many
Fen
biscuits.
just like bares her fangs. I do know how to be happy.
So what's the
I was
verdict?
only
that we're
concerned with
making-
how.
Oh,
go ahead.
please go ahead.
I was only concerned with how much we'd have to feed it. It could grow really big. I didn't know how.
No one is concerned
Maintenance.
of that for me, and I eat more than this cat.
That is such a
actually-
fair point. I am no longer in this decision-making process.
Valentine, what were you going to say there?
Go on.
I fear that we're making a selfish decision. Where we go, darkness follows. And I don't see that changing anytime soon. We've fulfilled our promise of freeing the cub. I would like to have it with us. I've enjoyed it very much, but I don't want to have come this far only to watch it die.
Well said, Valentine. And I'll give the cub one of the kippers.
The tentacle lashes out. Finn, Star sort of like leans up and just headbutts you and nuzzles for a second and gives you the tiniest little lick, and then she disappears and reappears on Will's shoulder. Just sort of like
Was she listening?
wraps around him and just sort of like puts her head down.
That is a smart kitty.
Very much so.
I don't have a lot of experience with this Displacer Beast cubs. I gotta tell you, I just, the first time I saw her, I don't know, I just felt like I had to keep an eye on her. It was the strangest thing. And he turns
been
and
there.
sort of tromps off into the woods.
I don't trust him.
I wanted to pet
Well, he's certainly not what he seems, apparently. I wonder, do you think he's aware of his, was it a curse?
What's a curse?
Yes. So the question is whether he's aware and is fighting against it, or if he just thinks he is a child.
Your guess is as good as mine.
The answer to that question
Hey, Will!
is always yes.
Quick question before you go.
Septiana,
Uh,
maybe best just to let him take care of Star.
Anyway, he couldn't hear me, I guess. To walk too far away.
Do we think that the others are safe around Will?
Unless there's some sort of double curse where maybe he finds his true love or something, and then he turns back into his evil self because he's not supposed to be happy. I don't know.
That seems very far-fetched as a premise.
No, it's pretty believable. It is so good. I'm going to write it in my own when I learn literacy.
Anything else before you all follow him into the woods?
Oh, we could mess around for another half hour at least. But,
You know,
Do you want us to debate this cat more?
you know, hey, I'm prepared to make more purring noises. Eventually, as you pass through, because recall, he did show you where the pool was when you were high up in the tree, and he's like, it's right over there. And you all have walked that direction, and sure enough, you do come across a lake. Mist drifts over the surface of a small lake. Not that kind of mist. Actual mist. Not the mist. Forested crags line the shore on one side of the lake, and mossy rocks protrude from the shallows. Near the center of the lake is a rocky islet. Important point of clarification. Desmond, are you still wearing the unicorn onesie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why would he not?
I mean, it's a valid life choice. Yeah.
Because unicorn onesie. The only reason I'm not now is because it's hot in here.
No, I get it. It's the inner unicorn onesie that is always there. Perfect.
He's got like one of his locks just like pointed up just to kind of match the unicorn.
As you all are walking along here, Desmond, you notice after a few feet, you're alone. For Nika is still with you because she's technically in the sword, but the others are not there.
Nika, do
What?
you know how long it's been since everyone else was here?
Weren't they just here with us?
Yeah. Yeah, they were. And then he just like holds the hilt of the short sword.
Give me perception or survival.
Yay.
Want from both of us?
Yeah.
I'm pulling out the dice because digital dice do not like me tonight.
RNG,
That
this is
an
a fickle
18.
god. 18 from
Truly.
Nika. Okay.
19.
19, is it perception or survival?
Perception.
Okay.
13. Survival.
You actually can hear it as well, Desmond. Nika, you're quite sure about 200 feet away, you see them. You see the whole group. They're just walking in the woods in the wrong direction. You all were headed straight ahead. You were all walking side by side, and now they're going the wrong way, and Desmond and Nika are headed straight towards the water. But you see your friends. They're right over there.
Desmond, try calling out to them. I don't know if I can reach them from here.
Just kind of cups his hands and just, Ben, Nahara.
Sure enough, you guys turn, and there's Nika and Desmond over there.
Desmond.
I don't like this. We were all together just a second ago. And then just kind of peps up the step just to get back with the team. There's no sense in
They're
yelling.
all there. You see Desmond and presumably the voice of Nika come walking right up to you. But to all of you, you were together, you were walking, then he's over there and you guys are over here. And then he walks up to you and you're together again.
Should we be concerned about this?
I feel like we should.
Yes.
We were just together and magically we were
Not.
50 meters, 70 meters, something like that, just away from each other. That makes no sense to me.
But we
I
were
am
also
concerned.
closer to the water.
Would that take us that far?
We're supposed to go to the water, right? And that's where you and I were.
True. It may be some sort of magical defense. I have an idea. I have, as it happens, I have 50 feet of rope. Why don't we just all hold on to a piece of the rope with one hand? That way, we're not tied together, but we are, linked at least.
Yes.
This is a great plan.
Okay.
Also, can we run real fast with weapons raised just in case?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I'll do that.
And Desmond just like knowing the woods and just kind of leans like, that's not a good idea. We don't know these woods, and tree roots will sneak up, and you don't want to fall on your own weapon.
You must run with high knees like this.
And Nika, I think you were saying something. Sorry, it's difficult, Nika, because I can't see when you're trying to insert something. I can only when I hear you. Sorry.
She'll make sure she's back into the sword just to be safe.
Okay.
This way is just one less thing floating around, literally, but you'll still hear me.
Tatiana, it is your intent to run towards the water?
Yeah.
You all see Tatiana starts running, and she just button hooks to the right and goes the wrong way. She's like... and you see her run till the edge of the rope, presumably, and just stops. It's like she goes towards it, and she just turns away from it and goes running down the shore. Or more along the woods, actually. Sorry.
Desmond, why don't you try walking again and see if maybe it's you?
All right. Just walk toward the water.
You walk straight to the water, and all of you watch him do it. He walks straight ahead, and there's a lake shore, and there's water, and there's all your friends standing right over there.
Just waves, just to see if the team will come.
Now, he's holding the rope, yes? So we can just
holding the rope.
Yes, we'll follow.
You, Desmond.
Well,
follow along the rope.
What ends up happening?
This reminds me of team building exercise.
As he goes and then you start to go, Desmond, you just notice one by one, they just let go of the rope and walk in the wrong direction. Each of them does. They don't seem hurt or shocked. They don't look hypnotized or anything. They're just walking towards you, and they just turn and go not towards you. And each of you, you're like, I'm going towards the water. I'm going towards the water. I'm not near the water.
How do we keep getting confused like this? And I'm going to try to fly up and over.
Same thing. You all see Nahara takes off, and then she just hooks over and flies a different direction and lands a few
Why
feet
is this
away.
happening?
Okay, I want to go up to the limit of the furthest I can walk and then call to Desmond, come, take my hand and pull me very hard.
Okay, let's try it. So grabbing Tatiana's hands, just walking toward the water.
You start pulling her, and Tatiana, your shadow erupts out of the ground and tackles you and will not let you go closer to the water. It has never fought you this hard.
It's like, whatever it is, I get the feeling, considering what we've been through, this is some sort of magical something. I don't know.
I get the impression that you're being permitted to approach. Perhaps it has something to do with your raiment.
I mean, who doesn't want to be a unicorn, though?
At this point, Nahara minor illusions a unicorn horn and tries to proceed forward.
You go straight through it, Nahara. You walk right up to Desmond.
I'll follow suit. I also can minor illusion one.
Same thing.
And I wild shape into a horse, but maybe this horse has a big bump on their head.
You know, I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one, Tatiana. You also walk straight through. You walk right up to the shore. I will say your shadow continues fighting you like the devil to not let you get near the water, but as a horse, it can't stop you.
So this lumpy-headed horse is just fighting with the shadow. Can I tumble into the water?
Let's come back to that in a second, because it's your shadow's gonna fight you to not let you get in the water. So we'll come back to that in a second. Uriah.
Well, in addition to 50 feet of rope, I often carry 10 iron spikes with me. So I'm going to use one of those to sort of fashion myself. I've got my hat here.
I love this.
Put it about here or so that I've got a horn going up.
When you do, you walk straight ahead through them.
What?
Right up to the group.
Can you pass one of those to Finn?
Yes. I'll throw an iron spike back.
Oh, can I catch that as if nothing happens to me,
That's
right?
gotta be a roll.
Sure. Yeah. He's not.
I'm just like, wait a minute. You're just like,
That's the end of Finn here on the shore of the sea.
no.
I don't think Uriah has a very strong throw, so no, I think you're fine.
Well, that would make it worse. So you like throw it, and it would like just whip over and like catch me right in the face.
Like a lawn dart when we were kids. Yep. Does Finn put it to her head?
Yeah, but she feels so silly, but she does.
I'm only giving this visual for art and audio, expressly for art and audio.
Wow.
But yes, sure enough, Finn, when you do it, you are able to walk easily up to the shore. When you guys get a little closer, out in the water, a few feet out into the water, there is about 250 feet in the water, there is a little islet in the middle of the water that you can see. Basically a small outcropping of rock that's like big enough for a couple of people to stand on, but it's not an island proper. However, Tatiana, you see your shadow. All of you see this. It comes up almost like a monstrous tentacled thing and goes to grapple you. So give me an athletics check, Tatiana.
Ooh,
Remind me, do I just add my proficiency if I am wild shaped into a horse?
You can use the skills. If this body is physically stronger, you add its proficiency.
and
Should have probably found it first.
I would like to give
Yes, brother,
Tatiana
right.
guidance.
Okay.
I would like to give Tatiana guidance in this athletics.
You're going to
check.
add an extra D4.
I also have guidance that I have never remembered to cast before. Can I double up or just one?
Yeah, it's just the one. Yeah.
Okay.
1D4.
Then I prefer a friend's guidance. It is better.
Let Ezra light your path.
I am not sure. I'll just go with my athletics so I don't go looking.
That's fine. It's probably comparable, honestly. Tatiana's a strong girl, so she literally is probably as strong as a horse. So
I have a 16, which is pretty sweet given that I only rolled a 6 on the d20.
the shadow got a natural 20.
No!
You all see it lifts this horse up and like carries her back a couple of feet and like just slams her down into the gravel and is trying to pin her in place.
Desmond just like kind of just like slides in and just 1, 2, 3. Your shadow got you, Tatiana. What are you doing? No! What are you doing?
I would like to try to cast Calm Emotions on her in the shadow.
What's the save on that?
Let's see. It is a charisma save of 14.
Give me a charisma save, Tatiana.
I got a 19 plus my charisma. Where's it hiding?
Tatiana, you are there, and again, it is incredibly frustrating, like the effortlessness with which your shadow has slammed you down here. You notice it seems like it eases up for a second, and you can make out in its non-specific shadowy horse face fear.
I use the moment of it being off guard to bolt as fast as I can for water.
Hang on, let me see. Is anyone going to attempt to help her?
Nahara, seeing this, would like to try to scoop up some of the water and bring it to her.
Okay.
Like there you're out, like just splash right over you.
Roll with.
If that helps for a little bit.
Give me athletics with advantage, Tatiana, to see if you can shake it off and get to the water.
I'd like to assist Tatiana by casting light on the shadow.
Perfect.
Smart.
You mean that
23.
Tatiana, it clambers after you and it looks like it's about to get you again as this bright flash of light goes off and then this water hits it and it jumps back and recoils. As you plunge into the water, it is crystal clear. It is cool. It is, you realize it gets pretty deep pretty quickly. Like as you go riding out into it, like it is all the way up to your horse neck. And all of you see the shadows stops. It's like, and the shadow starts to dissolve. Like
The horse Tatiana, who I assume is blue, does like a slow motion mane flip. You don't know how. You're looking at her and you don't know how she's going in slow motion, but she is so happy to be in this cool water right now.
you all see something else. The black rose on the back of her neck begins to glow red, and light comes from it. And
I forgot I was double cursed.
You hear a voice in your head, Tatiana. So, young warrior, you found a way to evade my mark. Surely you don't think this is the end for us. He's in your head, so you can speak Tatiana in your head.
I don't realize this at first until I'm like, that's right. I have bested you this time.
So
Perhaps I was more than you bargained for.
So overconfident. Here on the eve of your defeat. When we meet again, I will teach you the error of your ways.
First of all, fake it till you make it, baby. Second of all, I have something you will never have, Lord Soth. Powerful friends. And I slow motion whip my mane again.
And you all see the black rose glows and vanishes.
I'd like to establish a telepathic link with Tatiana, a horse Tatiana. I think you did it.
I think we did it.
I think you can probably not have to be a horse anymore also.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
However, all of you give me a perception check.
Perception? Let's make bonus on that.
Natural 2.
Hey.
16.
Oh, good. I get advantage on that.
22. A.
22,
21.
okay. 21.
Wait, where do you get advantage? How does that happen?
Be
It's a blood hunter
cool
thing, yeah.
like a blunter.
Right.
Oh, I was just sad because I was like, I'm proficient. Does that give me the advantage? I was just hoping for another roll because I got.
I'll give you
13.
guidance because I forgot to give myself some.
Well, between all of you.
So Dave, just so you know, the G4 die gave me a nat 1. I'm glad I have advantage.
My reach is already extending, infesting everyone's tables. Yeah. I should get those dice out and roll them, or apparently I shouldn't. All right. All of you notice a couple of things. Okay, so again, the entire time you've been in the Feywild, obviously life's doing great out here. It is wonderful, it is vibrant. It's especially vibrant here. Desmond, you notice, Desmond, Veronica, and Tatiana all notice. This place is just absolutely teeming with life here in these woods. They're just chock full of stuff, but it's harder to spot. Like the squirrels are sneakier, the foxes are stealthier. It's just everything seems like everything is really on its toes, and everything just seems like really healthy, like really, just really, really healthy. Not necessarily bigger, than what you were accustomed to, but it just seems like there's life is especially coursing through them here. You also notice out in that islet, there is a bronze bowl sitting in it, and somebody got a pretty high perception. In that bowl are some unlit coals, but it's way out there. It's on the island in the middle of the lake.
Do the rest of you see that? I think there's some sort of fuel in those braziers over there.
Yes, it looks like coals, perhaps.
Yes.
Considering how hard it was for everybody to come out this way, part of me wants to light them, but part of me is also terrified of lighting them.
I mean, I could help with that.
feel
Okay.
like we've come this far, and we should.
All right.
Just
Well,
fire-bolted.
So let's do it.
I could fly. Yeah. I could fly over and
You gonna fly over and do it, Nahara?
yeah.
Now, with your minor illusioned unicorn horn, it's easy. It's effortless. I will say, any of you who touch this water just feel great. It does a number of things that I don't think have affected any of you. Correct me if I'm wrong. Tatiana was the only one who was actively cursed, correct?
Yes, I don't think what's happened to me.
I don't know if what happened to Nahara is a curse.
Yeah, I don't
so
think
I
that's
don't know.
Also, question mark.
Also not a curse. Yeah, right.
Okay.
My sword is cursed.
Hashtag not a curse.
So, you do have the opportunity to end your attunement to a cursed object if you so wish. You can break your connection to that cursed sword if you would like. That is something
Can I
the water.
make it? Can I make it a packed weapon instead?
It won't make the sword not cursed, but it will make you no longer cursed by it. If that makes sense.
Oh, I'll take it.
Right. You do want to break the attunement?
Yes, I would like to not be cursed by the sword.
Then you absolutely can. You wade out waist deep in the water. Again, anyone who touches the water, you just feel good. It ends exhaustion. You know, you just feel tingly like alkaline water, and it feels healing and just nice.
Like a long rest?
Not like a long rest, unfortunately.
So I have not touched the water yet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna stand at the edge of it
Mm-hmm.
and be like kind of looking over to the coals out there of what Brother Uriah was trying to point out.
Mm-hmm.
And my right heel, because she's always wearing a bit of lift in her shoes,
Mm-hmm.
wobbles on the edge of the like kind of dirt stone at the edge of the water.
Mhm.
And my right ankle just kind of buckles a little bit.
Mhm.
And I fall into the water.
Accidentally.
And it is as convincing as you'll let it be.
As you, I'm not even gonna make you roll. You're quite a performer, Valentine. You, as you're falling, you do hear Tregram. Oh no! Please forgive me, Godbrain. And you fall in, and you do feel good, Valentine, but you don't feel any different. You don't feel like any of the shackles on your soul come undone.
Tregram, are you okay?
I believe I'm okay. Can you hear me? Are you okay? I realize you can't drown, but oh, you're covered in this awful water. Why does it feel so pleasant?
I am. I'm so sorry. And I'll climb out of the water. That was frightening.
Give me 1 second, Valentine. We will come back to that. Nahara, it is easy, effortless to fly right over to it, and there is a bowl of coals. Is your intent to set it on fire?
Yes, I firebolt it.
It leaps to flames right then. In Valentine, as you emerge from the water, standing right in front of you is a very large, very majestic unicorn. She has a golden red horn, golden red mane, a golden red tail, and porcelain white fur. And she just leans down and looks at you, and you hear in your mind, hello.
Hello there. Who are you?
I'm Lamorna. I live here. Who are you?
Lamorna, I am Valentine. My friends and I here needed to visit the waters.
You need assistance? I saw you take a nasty spill.
I'm quite all right. Thank you.
You see, she does like lean her head down where you could like hold on to her horn to kind of stand up if you wanted to.
I'll kind of try and brace myself more by like a shoulder if I can, because I'm worried about grabbing onto her horn.
Mm-hmm.
Are you able to communicate with the others?
She turns her head and looks, and she's like, I can. You just seem like you were in the most distress.
Good performance.
She turns her head slightly and leans in, and you see she's got just brilliantly blue azure eyes. And she says, "You are not like those other ones."
Most of them know.
But you're not here for yourself. You're here to help someone. You've lost someone you love too.
Many.
Did the Hourglass Coven take them from you too?
No, but I've heard much about them. Who did they take from you?
She turns, and you see her horn glows slightly, and out of the water, you see the form of a unicorn appear in the water. An image that is the top page 111, if anyone has their book handy. And she just says, "My mate Eladon. They took him. They used his power to trap Our Lady Zybilna. I don't have it in my heart to hate them. It is not my nature. But whatever spite I can feel, I do."
Well, fortunately, it is deeply in my nature, so we seem to have aligned. We also are here to free Zybilna. The Hourglass Coven will fall if necessary.
Desmond, you don't know how you didn't notice,
Oh no.
but
Desmond
Valentine's
saw.
talking to a unicorn. It's
Oh
right
no,
there.
Desmond saw and was just standing like,
Yeah, it wasn't there. Nahara lit the braziers, and it was there.
and Desmond has been agape, just mouth, just the entire time. Just, you exist. And he's like bows, just, it is a pleasure.
You hear in your mind, all of you hear in your mind, "Well, hello and welcome, strangers. I'm Lamorna. You've successfully reached me. How might I be of some assistance?"
Oh, Desmond, you were absolutely right. They're magnificent. You are magnificent. It's a great pleasure to make your acquaintance.
You do see she stands up very proud, you know? And she's like, "I'm nothing compared to my mate Eladon, but thank you. I appreciate your kindness."
Nahar will absolutely, at that first thought that popped from her, will bolt towards everyone else.
Nara, once you turn and look at the shore, and there's a unicorn on the shore now. She's, boom. She's, ooh, fascinating.
The Hourglass Coven has taken their mate, and that's what's keeping Zybilna. So, if we are able to free Zybilna, we should be able to free them as well. It appears that's where their power is coming from.
You would do this? You would risk the wrath of Skabatha Nightshade and Bavlorna Blightstraw and Indolin Moongrave, all three of those awful hags?
Truly, I look forward to it.
Two now.
We don't even know, so yeah. happily.
Tatiana gallops over, still in horse form, and sends a message back, since she was just talking in my head of like, Bavlorna has been cut down to size by us. We are afraid of nothing. And we, of course, will help you.
Apologies for me saying this, but Zybilna was vainglorious and even deceitful at times, but her magic kept Prismere safe and kept us isolated so that we could live in peace. And those hags ruined everything. And they stole my mate and they used his power.
We all live complicated lives, but we will help you.
Do you fight? Because you could come with us. I mean, nothing better than rescuing your love.
No. I wait for him here, and should he return, I know he would find me here.
Are you bound to this place?
No, I choose to remain. But I may be able to help you find your way to the Palace of Heart's Desire. That is where Zybilna ruled from.
Much appreciated. Yes, we'll do whatever we can to rescue your mate, certainly, and reunite the both of you.
It's all telepathic, right? With the unicorn, so we can't hear each other necessarily speaking to it.
Yeah, you can.
Okay. I would like to speak back just telepathically, and say, the water didn't have the effect I was expecting.
What did you expect?
That's private to the unicorn.
She's
sorry.
to the unicorn.
Oh, okay.
She looks at you and she just says, "The water can heal many things, but not all, I am afraid."
Are there similar practices of magic here?
She sort of narrows her eye for a second and she says, "Zybilna, when she was at her strength, was known for granting wishes. Perhaps she would reward you with this when she is liberated. She is quite generous to those who are in her good graces."
Just wanted to be aware. Thank you.
She does lean down and touch you with her horn, Valentine. And everything does feel quiet. The other presences, the ever-present passengers in your consciousness, do seem at least temporarily muted.
I see why those of a more devious path than mine would do much for these powers.
There is little that some would not do to have us as their very own. She turns and she looks at you, Desmond, and she says, "I see one body, but I sense two minds. How is this?"
It's a long story.
You see, she does look around and she's like, "To whom is speaking to me?"
I'm Nika.
You see, the unicorn physically walks up to Desmond and is like, "I do not see where Anika is located."
Desmond requests just kind of "May I?"
Of course.
And just draws the sword and holds it sideways, on his palm. Her spirit is encased in the sword. The only thing I could ever request of anyone is for her to have her own body again.
She says this where all of you can hear it in your heads. Again, "Well, my lady Zybilna is great and powerful. She grants many wishes. Perhaps she will restore your lady to wholeness. I sincerely hope that should you reach her, she will restore my mate as well."
I wonder if I might ask a favor. Would it be possible for me to take some of this lake water in these flasks as samples?
I am glad that you did not attempt to swim. You seem so frail in your garment, your raiment so heavy. I fear that you would sink straight to the bottom.
Oh,
He
yes.
is very brave.
That is what would have happened, though, yes.
She looks at it and she's like, yes, you may. I do not know if the mystical properties will translate when removed from here, but I have no objection.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. So I'll fill some of my empty flasks with samples of the water.
Yes, Fan.
Ben had wanted to ask that same question for obvious reasons. And she just looks at the unicorn and gives a respectful nod. I, too, would request permission, but for a very specific reason.
She turns and she looks at you and she says, you have a warrior's heart, and yet it is filled with love. How do you do this? Balance both sides of the blade, such as it were.
Takes the right person to help me find that balance. And as such, she carries a terrible curse, and the blade she wields has her in its thrall. I would release her from it.
Can you bring her here? Perhaps if she were to bathe in my waters, that might restore her, as it has restored your magnificent blue horse friend here.
If she would consent to it, perhaps, yes. But how would we find you?
Oh, I do not leave this place, and these waters do not move. If you were to regain access to thither, I would be here. Perhaps after you have restored Our Lady Zabilna, she might open passage so that you and your lady might come here freely. I would welcome you.
Thank you. And Fen just gives her another nod. But may I just simply take a vial's worth? That's all I ask.
Please, yes.
In case we can't come back.
Absolutely. She turns. Yes. Yes, Desmond.
Right then, Desmond grabs one of his flasks and just requests, "May I also?"
Yes, all of you, to your fill. As you can see, there seems to be no shortage of water.
And then
and while
picks up the flask and goes to drink it, and then just thinks.
She does look at you. She looks at you, and you hear in your mind, she says, "If you do so, you will be altered." Yes.
How?
You know how.
Oh. He just corks it.
Desmond,
Yes,
you were going to drink that.
I was. Just to see what it does. And she was kind enough to let me know that I would be altered.
To be honest, I was thinking the same thing.
I would prefer not to be altered. I like myself as I am.
I like you too.
Thank you.
I'll
And he
take
looks at
some.
the unicorn as well and just, thank you.
Poor
Mara will
Tatiana
as
is
well.
taking huge gulps, just drinking as much as possible. Have you ever seen a horse try to drink a whole lake?
I'm just taking a vial and I just hold it up for Tatiana and just for later, my curse magnet friend.
She just looks up real fast with her big horse eyes. There's just water dripping from her chin as she nods.
And I'll just kind of softly pet the top of her head.
So, I'm just doing the math. How many curses were broken at once? Because, of course, there was the curse of the Black Rose that was administered by Lord Soth, and then there was the Shadow, of course, but that was the death curse of that hag. I guess you'd already lost your cursed battle axe, reclaimed by the general. Yes.
Tatiana, it takes you
Smart to have some on us.
It takes you a second to realize it, but that sense of compartmentalization in your mind is gone too. Whatever had been partitioned off, the partition is removed.
I trot in a happy circle when I realize this. I'm milking my whole 2 hours. I am a horse, people.
Is you are walking around happily clopping. She looks at
Dressage.
you. She looks at high knee dressage, high knee, yeah. She looks at you, Desmond, and she says, I hope you will remember this and treat me kindly on the next full moon.
For the most part, aside from this place, I have far more control over my faculties on the full moon than many of my kind. So nothing to worry about. Also, as you can see, and he just kind of like kneels, showcasing the unicorn onesie, just like, I am a big fan.
You are the witch light monarch as well. And she like stops back and she like narrows, like bows down to show you as well that she's bowing to you. Might I give you all one word of warning? When you enter the palace, if what I have heard is true, everyone is frozen in time, unable to move, with one exception, the Jabberwock. Zybilna's horrifying guardian. It is
The what? The what now?
the Jabberwock. It is a creature of nightmares. It is like a dragon, but not. Its wings and many legs, and madness echoes from its eyes. It is terrible to behold. When it picks a target, it does not stop until that target is destroyed and consumed.
I'm not liking the sound of any aspects of this Jabberwock, was it? Jabberwock. Yes.
And she motions, you see her horn glows, and out of the water, you see a thing that looks like a very spindly dragon that is a very long neck and two bulbous eyes on the top of it, and a mouth that opens more up and down, almost more like a cat's mouth than a dragon's maw. And it's got two long wings, and it stands up on its back legs like a man and looks around suspiciously. And then watery versions of all of you appear, and it picks one and starts chasing after one of you, and the rest of you scatter. It's like, that is largely what I anticipate.
I don't like that at all.
Are we sure we don't want an Oni against a Jabberwock at this point? I don't even know if that's an option.
Desmond just is wondering, can we see which one it targeted?
Yes, which in the illusion, which go after.
She, when you all start trying to pay attention, it all dissipates, and she's like, "Oh, this was not prophetic. I didn't mean to be rude. I figure it will go after the horse. Honestly,
okay.
It's just physically bigger."
We have a friend who sees time differently. Yes.
I exist
very
purely
weird.
linearly. Is your friend a moonstone dragon by chance? Fascinating creatures.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Well,
that Jabberwock thing looked very weird and off-putting.
oh, yes. There's something else that you should know. There are other enemies that exist inside the castle, although I don't know to what extent they're
Great.
available. And when she says this, right next to all of you, you see, and her neck opens up and blood shoots out of it. And she stumbles and starts to fall. And right in the middle of you, an orc wearing a hood with a curved knife lands and looks back and goes, "Oh, I was supposed to take her head off. Now we got to do it the hard way." And that is a good place for us to take a little break. We'll be back in 10 minutes. Don't go nowheres. Be right back.
He was savage.
Roll initiative, y'all.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
That was the most instantaneous.
What?
Roll it.
What?
Hey, guess who got a 20? Guess who got a nat 20?
I have never rolled well on initiative ever.
17.
Ready.
Listen, I rolled an 8 and I'm okay with it because I don't know what's going on right now. This is crazy.
I've got
Man's
an
cut the
18.
unicorn. Desmond is pissed.
I got a 5.
Do me a favor, drop that in Zoom. I'm getting it
Got
together
it.
over here.
Sure.
Which dice did you roll, DJ?
The Black Dice Society dice.
Uriah, what Uriah
Nice.
get?
Beautiful.
13.
15?
No, 13. Lucky
13. Finn?
17.
17. Okay. Nika?
30-20.
30-20. All right.
Ooh.
It makes sense that, the sword and the wielder both act quickly. Nahara?
8.
8. Nahara's like, what?
I'm like, don't know what's happening. No reaction skills.
Of course.
Valentine?
I had an 18.
Oh, sorry.
Full delay. Internet
sorry.
stuff.
Desmond, nat 20, right? And Tatiana?
Nat 20.
Tatiana?
4. No, wait. +1 is 5.
Everybody, this is that moment in Survivor, that gif where everybody's like, and the one person's like, Desmond, you are first. This orc is standing there with the 2 swords in his, the 2 knives in his hands, and he just turns and looks and is like, meant to cut off its head. Now we got to do it the hard way. What would you like to do?
Let me to introduce you to the hard way.
Desmond immediately just grows and fur just from everything and just is enraged and just
We were in the middle of a conversation.
just leaps right at the orc.
You can go ahead and roll your attack, but he very much looks at you and he goes, hey, but there's no reason we can't still work this out. But yeah, go ahead and attack.
Yay. I'm going to go for a nice little bite.
Okay.
And
you're on deck, Nika, and then Valentine.
Yep.
that's a 21 to hit.
Oh, I made a mistake. We went straight into the initiative, and I didn't give the patrons. I'm gonna give it to y'all. I'm gonna give it to you here. You know what? I'm gonna give it to you now. And you know why? Because for reasons I cannot explain, we may or may not have any time to talk at the end. So let me
Let us sweat more while this is.
Of
You know,
course.
Okay.
if it weren't the finale, I would say, nah, get it next week. Don't worry about it. But I have to give a shout out to our people. Aaron Duran, Alan Zozo, Aurelia Rolfe, Black Watch Ronan, Brad Demogged, Chris Lewis, The Pretzel Bear, Chris Smoot, Christopher Clindering, Craig Savage, Kralis, David Bonney, Dean Nicole, Donald Scott Massey, Ducati, Flannel Fries, Forrest S. Moore, Gruffumbly, Graham Ross, Guy Vanderbrink, Ian Brooks, might be Ian, I don't know. Ian, you tell me, buddy. Josh Olun, Just Link, Kyle Garrett, Matthew, Mecha Shiva, Mercy Malunias, Mr. Owlbear, Nathan Crowder, Nick Bernard, Nightcrawler, Packery 101, Patch, Project Wolf Bear, Reese, Reverse, Aquineth, Rob, Bacon Garland, Tremarco, Ronan Monkey, Rosie and Sean at Sip Happens, Rum Soaked Chicken, to Queen Bee, That Moon Kid, Tracer Vision, The Undisputed Baron of Disneyland, Vladimir Night Road, War on Reality, We Knuckin' Futz, and Zort 1. Thank you all so very much for your support. You literally make it possible to do what we do. And with that, back on onto our rage-filled vengeance. So, what did you get there, Desmond?
Oh, it was a 21 to hit?
That is enough to hit him.
Yay. Double check a thing. Yeah, I'm gonna Hunter's Mark.
Okay.
Just out of principle.
On principle.
And then I'm looking for a D8. Where's my D8?
Okay.
Because I am not rolling the digital die today. Thank goodness for bags of dice.
Mm-hmm. Never enough.
So the D8 plus 3 hits me at 10. And then the additional D6, because of Hunter's Mark.
Was this a claw or a bite?
Bite.
As you reach out and your jaws are about to lock on his neck, he moves back slightly. Where you bite him, your teeth rake against him, and you do draw blood from him, but not as hard as you expected to get him. However, go ahead and give me your damage.
Oh, that was first attack was a 10, and the second was a 2.
Okay. All right. You've scratched him, and he is bleeding. Nika.
Nika, seeing the blood, she emerges from Desmond's sword and is in a more ghostly form. And you see her hand reach out, and it's going to basically plunge itself into where the heart of the orc would be. And that is going to give a 22 to hit.
That is enough. What is it that you're doing to him?
She is doing her withering touch.
Ooh.
So that is going to be 16, 14, 17 necrotic damage.
You see his cheeks sink in and his eyes get a dark ring around them, and he goes, wow, what witchcraft is this? Anything else from Vornika?
She'll just sort of quirk an eyebrow at him and smile, and she draws her hand back, and there's like this black ichor left from the damage.
Valentine?
Yeah, I would like to just immediately turn and firebolt directly for the center mass.
Perfect. Roll it.
All right. That is a 21 to hit.
That is enough.
Excellent. Using digital dice today. But please be nice to me. That is a total of 9 points of damage.
Perfect. Again, you notice he is just slipping and sliding. Every time you all are swinging and attacking and shooting him, he is just like so slippery. Although you definitely wing him, you see that you burn him slightly, but you do not hit him center mass. He is incredibly fast.
All right. That's it for my turn.
Perfect. Finn.
I'm going to pop my dread form as a bonus action and hit him with Eldritch Blast.
All right, go ahead and roll.
Try 18.
That is enough to hit him.
Huzzah.
But the exact same thing happens to you, Finn. You go for center mass, and he rotates to the side, and it just wings him. But you do hit him. So give me the damage.
For real, a 1.
Thinking just off the side.
Well, that's only one of them. I get 2 Eldritch Blasts, right?
Yep, you roll separate attacks for each one because you can crit.
Oh, never mind. Then I need to roll the other one. That was a fail.
The second one misses completely as he is tumbling in midair, and he just says, you know, I was here for the unicorn. I have no quarrel with the rest of you, but needs must. And he jumps on your back, Desmond. Give me, actually, hold on a second. Give me an athletics check.
10.
You see he jumps on Desmond's back and in a flash whips out a garrote wire and loops it around Desmond's neck and yanks. And you see blood starts coming out of the fur as he's yanking on it. He's like, oh, I'll bag me a big one this time. Desmond, you take 16 points of slashing damage. As he is actively choking you with this garrote. However, Brother Uriah, it is your turn, and he's on Desmond's back.
Brother Uriah, no, he was next to the unicorn because he was speaking to it. I like to think that when he got slashed, Brother Uriah just got like this face full of blood. So he sort of wipes his eyes and looks to see, is the unicorn dead? She's
breathing.
Wounded? Okay.
She's hurt. She has fallen to the ground, but she is breathing.
Uriah will lean forward and going to do an upcast cure wounds on her.
Perfect.
That will be 12 points of healing.
Brother Uriah, as you extend your hand towards her wound, you see her eye rotates towards you, and you hear in your head very weakly, I can save myself. Help your friends. I'll be fine. Thank you.
Okay, so I don't have to.
You don't have to expend this. As you're reaching out and the summoning the magical will, she basically tells you, "I'm okay. Help your friends." But you see true and genuine gratitude in her eyes, Brother Uriah.
Very well. Uriah sort of returns that glance, and then with almost uncharacteristic anger, he sort of turns back and looks at the orc and just says, "How dare you!" As for the first time in his career, he casts Blight.
Ooh. Is that an attack for you or a save from him?
That is a save from him.
What does he need
That'll
to be?
DC 16 Constitution save.
He does not make it.
Is it a free action for Nahara to swoon?
Swooning is always a free action.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Very well. He will take all of this damage then.
Mm-hmm.
He takes 32 points of necrotic damage.
Brother Uriah, tell me what it looks like when this orc dies.
Essentially, mist suddenly surrounds him, and it is a very familiar mist. It's the mist of Ravenloft. As Ezra, as her wrath is visited upon this orc, and the life is drained from him along with all the moisture from his body out through his pores and out through his eyes and mouth into the mist, and the mist becomes larger and then dissipates as his desiccated corpse hits the ground. Oh, did I do that?
Tackle Smooch. Nahara would like to tackle Smooch.
Well done, Uriah.
I mean, really, this smooch belongs to Ezra. It is her power that moved through me. But thank you.
Ben starts clapping for Uriah.
You all see as the unicorn is laying there on her side, Lamorna, you see the wound just starts to close in front of you. You see it. And she sort of like rotates over and gets back to her hooves. She's like, yeah. A League of Malevolence assassin. I had been able to evade him before now. She looks down at him, and she says, "They say he goes by the name of Zarek, or at least he did."
Oh.
I wonder how he tastes.
And right when Desmond says that, he bends down with his jaws, just bites the shriveled, jerky-looking head of this thing, snaps it off its body, and just like with his head, just like throws it as far as he can, and just...
How dare you attack my friends? Nice work, Brother Uriah.
Oh, yes.
And then he just calms himself and comes back in human form.
I'll be honest, I'd never channeled the more wrathful aspects of the goddess before, but that she is certainly nothing to be trifled with.
Clearly, none of you are. Might I assist you in one last way? I can open the way to the Palace of Heart's Desire for you. With such power, you all should be able to help Our Lady Zabilna quite easily.
That is our aim.
Thank you.
She kind of looks each of you in the eye one by one, and she's like, thank all of you.
I slip out of my horse form so she can see what I look like for real. Till we meet again.
She just nods at you. If any of you see Eladon, or if you don't, please ask Sibilna to send him back to me. And her horn starts to glow, and she leans down and she touches the water with it. And you see the clear reflection of everything around you changes. And you see a grand, sprawling palace. It is beautiful. And inside of it, you see a ballroom. It very much looks like you could just step through it right into it.
Here goes nothing. I jump in.
I will follow.
As will I.
For anyone who has the book, The Palace of Heart's Desire is on page 170. It looks like a fairy tale castle with sprawling vines and beautiful trees and sprawling parapets, exactly like you would imagine such a place to be.
Ooh.
However, you all emerge inside this place. You emerge at a place that I have bookmarked on the computer, but I am using the real book now.
The perils of digital versus paper.
Indeed.
Paper smells better.
It does.
Prefer the hard copy 100% of the time. As much as I read, it's so hard on the Kindle, but I digress. A grand ballroom lies before you, the northern part of its floor littered with the splintered remains of 3 doors that have been knocked from their hinges, leaving openings through which you can see adjoining rooms. Throughout the ballroom, royal courtiers stand motionless, their eyes fixed on a black iron cauldron atop a dais in the middle of the chamber. Dark vapors rise from the cauldron, and a huge dragon-like monster is coiled around it. The dragon's body twitches slightly, and its closed eyelids flutter as if in a dream. It is absolutely the Jabberwock. 2 figures are frozen statue-like off to one side of the cauldron. An imperious, middle-aged woman with long white hair and white robes, all of you recognize as Sibilna, and a younger woman clad in armor wearing a white cape. The older woman is reaching desperately towards the cauldron, while the armored woman at her side is grasping a fine-looking quarterstaff. To be clear, everyone in this room is frozen in time, except the Jabberwock. It's just sleeping. What would you all like to do?
We should be very.
I would like to cast Greater Invisibility.
Valentine. Brother Uriah very astutely pointed out you should be very quiet.
Are we hunting wabbit?
I will also, if I can, do another thing. I don't know if we're like moving into any kind of initiative, but I'd also like to just touch Tatiana's back and use my last high level spell slot and cast Stone Skin again.
Oh, yeah. I feel it course through silently.
I would, just for the sake of making sure we're all getting to where we need to go, I'm just gonna, it's within 90 feet, yes? Dave?
Yes.
I think we've got a little delay.
Oh, okay.
The
I
AC
would like
decided to sing the song of its people at this exact second. That's why I'm like, muted, yeah.
I just want to cast sleep on it until we figure out what's going on.
I turn to Valentine before she casts this stone skin and I say, thank you, but maybe someone else, because, you know, I have bears and I actually have resistance when I'm raging.
Okay, then I will hold that.
But thank you.
for now.
I guess in preparation, I'll cast Spirit Guardians on myself.
What do your guardians look like when they spring to life?
Oh, it's shadowy forms. They all look like various statues of Ezra. Essentially, they're in the Ezran religion. There are certain there's iconic statues, and so yeah, they're basically these aspects of Ezra that you've seen.
Perfect.
And they sort of kind of like flickering around in frozen form. It almost looked like he's surrounded by a bunch of weeping angels from Doctor Who.
Perfect. Anyone else going to do anything before Nahara attempts to put the Jabberwock to sleep? Yes.
Desmond cast protection from evil on himself.
Excellent.
Also on a form of dread bonus action for myself.
Perfect.
I'm going to cast Mage Armor on myself.
Perfect.
Ooh, can we do bonus actions right now?
You have not entered initiative yet. I mean,
Okay, cool. I'm
it's
about to
sleeping,
say,
and you guys
I mean,
are. Yeah,
we are.
Yeah, you.
Okay.
I thought about the Arms of Hadar, but I don't want to attack it yet.
I guess I should probably rage.
I'm saying, hey, I will take it as implied that if it's going to go down, you can rage, because technically you'll come right out of it if you don't fight. So I will give it to you as assumed. If violence starts,
raging.
you're amping up a little bit here. Tatiana, Desmond, and Voronika, give me a nature check.
8.
25.
25.
Perfect, because I got a 3.
Voronika, you know the Jabberwock, you've been told the story since you were a little girl, is absolutely relentless. When it decides to kill something, it will not stop, no matter what, until that thing is dead or it is. But it is also very stupid. It looks like a dragon. It does not have draconic intelligence. It can be misled, it can be tricked, but once it sets its eyes on something, it will not stop no matter what.
The important thing is to keep in mind that you don't want to be its target. It may look like a dragon. It may move like a dragon. But it's not smart. It's not bright. It's gullible and susceptible. Trickery will be on our side in this case.
So basically, it's dumb. Don't be on its bad side.
Mm-hmm.
And do a lot of dodging.
I will also give one last piece with a roll that high. It is not friendly, Nika. It is not friendly.
It would be. There is no making friends of this thing at all. So don't try.
No, dude.
If it does select one of us as its target, if it is gullible and susceptible to trickery, an illusion might come in handy of whoever it chooses to attack.
It should be me. I can take
lock onto the illusion. Make sure the one the illusion is of is not evident. Because once that is in its sights, I fear we won't see either illusion or source of illusion.
Right.
Until it gets its way.
All right, then.
What's the plan?
Put that thing to sleep, Nahara.
So,
Should we all be prepared to strike it, or?
Yep.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
What level of sleep are you casting? Because I believe, I will double check because I have a number of editions of this game going through my head. Sleep just puts a certain number of hit points worth of creature to sleep, right?
Yeah.
I will try at 3rd level.
It's probably fairly sturdy.
Yes, so you get 5d8 worth of hit points. So here's basically what you have to do. You essentially have to one-shot this thing, because if you do not roll high enough, the sleep will not work, and it will wake up.
It's 5d8 for a 1st level.
5d8 for first level, plus each additional level is an extra 2d8.
Okay.
Just
So it's
posing the question.
9?
It's a 9d8.
What if we don't wake it up and we just find Zabilna even if she's frozen and take her out of here?
You very much see Zabilna. She's right there. Like, she's lunging for the cauldron. Like, she's trying to do something, and she's frozen.
Does anyone see inside the cauldron?
Oh, do you want to go and try? Oh, yes, Valentine.
Since I'm invisible, I can sneak over there and try and see what's in it. And I'd like to just assess the hold that is on Zabilna.
Give me stealth with advantage, because you basically have to go right up to the Jabberwock because it's coiled around the cauldron over her.
Right. Okay. So it's a 19 on the die. That's a dirty 20 for stealth.
All right. Hold on a second here. Valentine, as you creep over, you swear one of its bulging eyes kind of opens for a second and rotates in your direction. And it is oddly familiar, as it is a solid, milky white. Not totally unlike the eye you see every night. But it... and just closes again.
Fortunately for me, I don't breathe, so it shouldn't be able to hear me.
It seems also, you swear, Valentine, it's almost like it's talking to itself, but nonsense. Just like... just gibbering.
It's like a dog having a nightmare.
However, as you get over towards the cauldron, let me get the proper description for you here. Of course, now it's difficult to find. It is a sturdy iron cauldron with... see what it looks like inside. It is iron and embossed on the outside with images of bats, toads, cats, lizards, and snakes. 8 of each animal. It is 3 feet in diameter and has a 2-foot wide mouth and a round lid with a molded handle at the top and 8 clawed feet for stability. Looks like it weighs probably about 80 pounds and could hold maybe 100 gallons of liquid. And you are aware... it is incredibly powerful, Valentine. You can just feel it coming off of this thing.
Can I see a liquid inside?
The lid is on it.
Ah, the lid is on. Okay.
Mm-hmm. But it is very clear to you. Zabilna is going towards it. The young woman dressed like a paladin had her sword looking towards it. And all of the other onlookers and attendees in the room are very much like... but all frozen.
I understand that this might be difficult to perceive, but I'd like to take a better look at Zabilna, and I'd like to assess whether it looks like she was charging forward violently to potentially destroy the cauldron, or if she was reaching to grab for it, potentially.
You can give me insight with advantage, because this is kind of what you do.
That is... dirty 20.
She looks
My
like
lower roll, but I'm better at insight than stealth.
She looks like she's trying to stop something. In fact, based on where you're standing next to the cauldron, when you look at her, it's almost like she's coming for you, not the cauldron. Like she
Noted.
was lunging for someone next to it.
Interesting. Okay. I'll just telepathically communicate the intel to the rest of the group.
Mm-hmm.
Opening up a group chat.
Mm-hmm.
And that information includes that it's having a little Jabberwock nightmare.
What are the rest of you doing now that you know this?
Question.
Mm-hmm.
If it's already asleep, does a sleep spell can make sure that something stays asleep, or is this kind of a moot point?
Theoretically, if you were able to make this sleep work, it would be a deeper magical sleep. Because right now it's just sleeping, like any creature sleeps. Theoretically, were this to work, and it may or may not, you could put it in a deeper magical sleep.
Okay. Would I know from looking at this creature if, like, do I get the sense that this is like a very powerful?
Yes.
Okay. Because I'm thinking of like reassessing what my game plan is here. If this is
as of now, you haven't done it. I mean, it's huge. I mean, this thing is very large. It's coiled around multiple times around the cauldron.
Okay. Okay. Then I think I'm going to reassess my plan here.
No problem. But as of yet, no one has antagonized it or awoken it.
Right.
Tatiana has an idea. She whispers to the group, if you would like me to try, I could perhaps entangle it. Before we attack, I can make plants grow from the walls.
We need to attack it.
Well, Valentine has opened up the group chat. For the sake of our listeners, you all can speak freely. We will assume you are speaking internally.
Love that.
I won't just give you some.
Then Tatiana said it much louder.
You know, right.
I only worry that might actually wake it up. Perhaps we'd be better served to all strike at once.
We can do that?
We could. It's asleep right now, so we could all just like hit it right at once.
All
Is there
of you?
some?
Oh yes. Well, yes. What first?
Was there something? Is there something in the cauldron that
Lid's on.
lid is on? And Zbilna wasn't heading towards the cauldron. It was like someone next to it.
Yes. All of you give me insight checks.
Insight.
All right. I'm good at this one.
Okay.
Ooh, yes.
That is a 29 on insight.
Ooh, 24 for me.
17.
12.
13.
I got a
7.
You're just ready to fight this thing. Like, why not? Yeah, come, like, I'll be the one. Come at me, right, Desmond?
Desmond's just quiet, just sad about the 7.
Brother Uriah, you remember two things. This is the room where the Hourglass Coven betrayed Zbilna, so chances are high the person she was lunging towards was one of them. You're also aware that cauldron is the power by which she is being frozen. So if the cauldron can be destroyed, she would be released. If she were to be released, maybe she could deal with the Jabberwock.
Yes, I'd much rather that she dealt with it than us. I think it might be beyond our power, to be perfectly frank. The cauldron, I think, is the key. If we can,
Wait.
perhaps if we destroy it or at least upset it, spill contents.
Valentine, how many? The animals, how many again?
There were 8 of each.
8. Cats? And so remind me of something, grandmother. Lizards? Snakes? Yes?
Mm-hmm.
Desmond, give me your sword. Hold your sword out.
Okay. Just holds the sword out, just unsheathes and holds it out.
And Nika will hold both her hands over the sword. It's a thought, but maybe Grandma had something going on here. 8 cats perched atop, 8 dead attending. 8 lizards flee from 8 rats scavenging. 8 toads climbing meet 8 dead and falling. 8 snakes sneak under 8 bats screaming. 8 eyes open, always dreaming. All on the cauldron that is ever seeming.
When you say this, it begins to shake and vibrate, and ice extends down the length of the blade, Desmond, with frost rolling off of it.
And he just grabs it by the hilt, so just in case it's gonna like freeze his hand or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, Nika,
Break the cauldron.
what the cauldron?
Break it.
And the second she says that, he just strikes at the cauldron.
Desmond, you lunge forward towards the cauldron, and the Jabberwock snaps open and looks at you. A shockwave erupts out in all directions. And the whole palace shakes. And the Jabberwock pounces towards you, Desmond, until a single hand raises and it stops. And Zybilna turns and looks at all of you.
Mama.
I remember your faces. And you see the Jabberwock turns and flies out the window. You've succeeded. Good. Good.
I tackle smooch her.
You're physically bigger than her, so she. And when you kiss, you see the other people in the room just kind of like come back to life, and they see and they and she's what of the coven? What of their treachery?
Ongoing.
They have not all been destroyed.
I send a message to Zybilna at this point saying, the Witchlight Coven has a 4th sister, and she was paramount in us helping to save you. I don't know what the future holds, but please keep that in mind.
This was by message, right?
Yeah.
That was by message, yeah.
Yeah, so Uriah not knowing that's happening is just basically as this message is happening saying, yes, actually, Bavlorna was dealt with. We were calling her BB, but she announced her claim, and the other two, you don't seem to be paying attention.
When you say that, you do hear, oh no, she's awake. As she's standing in the doorway is Bavlorna, holding a very big book. She's like, you all got here faster than expected. Apologies, my lady. And you see Zybilna looks at her and she just motions like this, and you see Bavlorna stick straight up in the air and flies over towards her. And she says, do any of you mortals wish to have your revenge on her?
Yes.
Oh, well, mercy is a quality that is often beneficial.
We all got a pretty good hit that time when I turned into a frog and bit her.
She makes a fist, and Bavlorna lands on her knees in front of you, looking at you with her bulbous eyes. We had a deal.
We did, as a matter of fact. She renounced her claim forevermore on the section of your kingdom that she'd claimed. She has been humbled and, frankly, humiliated.
Very
Ben
humble
doesn't
and
care.
humiliated.
Ben doesn't care about this at all and pulls her sword.
Sibylna looks at you for a second, Finn, and she's like, if that is what you wish, mete out your justice. I will not count this as your reward, as you are doing me a service as well.
I just give her a deferential nod and look at BB.
I beg of you, have mercy, Finn, please.
I have none. No, I have none.
What does Finn do?
Ben beheads her.
And off in the distance, you hear two screams as the other two members of the Hourglass Coven know one of their sisters has met her end. And Sibylna just looks up. She's like, huh. I don't suppose you all wish retribution on those two, or should they be left to me?
I have no interest.
We haven't really met them.
I'm good.
Has Lorna helped us find you, actually? Kind of feel bad. Look at
That's why I
their
was
toady
arguing.
little head rolling on the ground there.
But then again, her little creepy duplicates did really stab me quite a bit and quite rapidly.
So would you like to take revenge, Brother Uri?
Oh, well, I mean, revenge has been taken. Like, the head is no longer attached to a body, so
There's two more sisters.
Well, I mean, as I said, I haven't even met those two.
But they would kill you.
No revenge for me. No revenge for me.
This is starting to feel icky.
I suppose the time to intervene on her behalf was before justice was done.
I did try. I was mentioning the mercy thing, but still, that's fine. How are you?
She turns and she just looks at the cauldron and she's like, damn, it's too late. However, did they even manage to do such a thing? How did they manage to stop me?
What's too late?
Those hags, they stood right here and used my own magic against me, my own cauldron against me. How dare they?
Gracious lady, there was also the matter of a unicorn whose power was apparently harnessed to trap you. Do you know where he might be?
My sister has him. Even so, she rides him as a hobby horse. She thinks it's funny. Not my sister. They like to think we're sisters. Merely more like cousins at best. But I will see to it that he is restored and sent home to his mate.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
Because it was also that unicorn's mate that led us to you.
Skabatha Nightshade. She has him. I will see that she is dealt with. Yes, mortals, for your service. What do you wish for your restitution? Surely, helping me was a deed in its own right, as obviously it said all right in Prismere, but I understand that everything has its cost. So what do you wish I'd do for you in return?
Look, I know you're super powerful, but did you notice our friend is trapped in a sword? We're trying
just
to work
looks
on
at
that.
Tatiana and is like, that's pretty much my wish. She's in the sword. Can you help her out? Please and thank you.
Voronika. I did not expect to see you here. This one, and she points at Valentine, begged me to intercede to save your life, and yet here you stand before me. How is it that this came to pass?
Very determined friends.
Well, this is a bit of a predicament. Luckily enough, none of you will remember this, so I can indulge myself in a little bit of gloating, shall we say. Your wedding was beautiful. All of you were beautiful. Call from the east, call from the north, call from the west to the south. Will you hurt him? I do not intend to. Or will you support him? I do not intend to. Do you know that I was not invited to your wedding?
I didn't know you were supposed to be.
There is a way some things are just supposed to be done. Your grandmother knew this, and you, Desmond Droons, your mother knew it too. They chose to slight me. They chose to slight me and thought there would be no retribution. How is this?
Retribution.
What retribution?
Oh, you know what retribution. Oh, you don't know. You
I
died.
swear on everything that is dark and unholy in this intrepid place, that if you came to that wedding and committed the most heinous crimes I've ever seen, and good God, have I seen some, because you were petty and upset you weren't invited to a party, it will be my undead mission to end everything that is you.
She begins to physically change in front of you. Her white hair turns jet black, and she looks much younger, and anger flashes in her eyes. You know nothing about my past. The wars I've won, the enemies I've crushed.
Correct, because I do not care.
Then let me show you. And when she motions, you all see a room. It's your bride chamber, Veronica. You see Nika on the bed with her knees tucked up, crying. You see your grandmother, and you see Desmond's mother all standing there, and you see Zybilna standing at the foot of the bed. Well, this is a slight that cannot be endured. You two owe me restitution now. Bring me the crown. And Nika's grandmother, who looks just like her, but gray streaks in her hair. I can't, my lady. Please, Lady Zybilna. It is for Nika. It is for Desmond. And Desmond's mother speaks up. It is for their children. It is for the future, our future, the future of our families. Future of your families. You think that matters? You all are so temporary. I don't understand. Isolde did the same thing. Do you know I did everything for her? I gave her wonders. I gave her everything her heart desired, literally. And she still wanted to leave me for her friends, for her family. Well, do you know what I did? I took them from her. I did that. And now you want your family. Great. Then allow me to show you all something. And you see through the door Desmond in his werewolf form comes climbing in. She's like, oh, what's this? And you see Desmond's mother steps in front of Nika's grandmother. My son, this isn't you. Don't do this. Don't do this. And she says, oh, no, it's not him. It's me. Kill her. And you see Desmond lunges towards Nika, and his mother jumps in the way and turns into a wolf too and grabs his hands. And Desmond roars back in her face. And she goes, oh, I love this. I love this. The problem is, you don't understand something. No one defies me. And she reaches out and touches Desmond's mother, and a crackle of light goes out, and she just vanishes. Psst. And your grandmother's, what have you done? You've killed her. No, I haven't. I didn't need to yet. I want her to remember this. I want you to remember this. Someone has to, because these two won't. And Desmond reaches forward and slams his hand into Nika's chest and pulls her heart out. And Nika falls back on the bed. And Zybilna holds her hand out for it. My brave boy. She reaches her hand in the blood and just rubs it all over you. Leave these memories with me, but the guilt you can keep. And motions, and you see Desmond leaves. And she looks down at the heart and says, This is restitution. Come with me, old woman. And the vision disappears. And she stands there. Yes! Mortals. So short-sighted. So ungrateful of everything I've done. Everything I give.
What have you done for me? Save for having me kill the one person I wanted to survive and save.
And she walks right up to you, Desmond. She gets right up to you and she says, and do you know what? Do you know what? I'm gonna take it from you all over again. You won't remember any of this, Desmond. You'll still wonder, did I kill the only person I loved? You all are beneath me.
I'd like to contact Tregram.
Well, this is an unexpected turn of events. I'm not sure how I can be of some assistance right now.
If I don't remember, I need you to remember.
I promise you, Valentine, we will not forget this.
I need you to remember every piece of this, and I need you to alert the God Brain this is a threat.
I will do so. I will do so now. Please, be safe here. She is a fearsome opponent.
She will die.
So, Finn, sorry. I didn't expect for you to find out that I'm sort of the source of the predicament Isolde finds herself in. You could try and tell her. She won't believe you. But a deal is a deal. You can find the caller in Barovia. Isolde can have her revenge, and whatever's left of her after that, you can have. I don't need her anymore.
Ben is still in her dread form. She just, like, her fangs, her claws come out, and she lunges at her.
When you lunge to bite, she's just not there. She's on the other side of the room. Ah, Finn. Do you really think you can beat me? That you can beat me here? This domain is mine. The land is as I say it is.
No, but I can go down trying.
Tatiana rages and also jumps for this form that can jump across rooms.
When you go, your sword just swings straight through her, like she's not even there. She's like, Tatiana. You know, I could tell you what happened to Jibaku if you want. If you wanted to get revenge for your master or whatever. I should tell you anyway.
I'm talking now! And I just keep slashing at the air. You're not mom! You're not mom!
Desmond. Desmond.
These
Yes.
The crown.
mortals are so
What about it?
pitiful.
Give me the crown.
Uriah and I
Crown.
didn't even know you before any of this.
Remember what it does. I need the crown.
Desmond goes into the pack, to his pack, and then holds it up for Nika.
Oh, you brought it. Well, finally, some people are starting to learn their place. And yes, Nahara and Uriah, you didn't know me, but I've known you. I've known all of you. I tell you what. You give me that crown right now, and then maybe I let you remember the truth of things. It won't help you. You will never get revenge on me. I am invincible, but at least you might have some closure. Whatever. Give it to me now.
Tentacles start pouring out of Valentine's eyes. However, unfortunately, it can't be seen, as I still have greater invisibility up, and I will cast Arms of Hadar.
Perfect. You see Valentine as the arms start to come up out of the ground. Zybilna just waves and the magic just stops, and she goes, Valentine, you're a misfit. You're a copy. You're a puppet for a bloated slug somewhere in the mist. Do you really think that you can ever stand a chance against me?
And I'll just lean as close to her ear as I can get and say, at least I was invited to the party.
You see she looks at you and flames come into her eyes and energy starts to crackle around her. And she's like, ah! And Veronica at that moment.
Right when she says that, Desmond's holding the crown out specifically for Nika.
Veronica, you find your strength is returned enough to take hold of the crown. What would you like to do?
Veronica takes the crown and she slams it on top of Zybilna's head and clamps it down as tightly as possible. You'll be taking nothing from anyone.
Valentine, you see she reaches out to you and you can see electricity and death in her hands, and then her eyes widen when this crown goes on her head into something else. Fear. No, not like this, no, I've come too far, I've done too much, no, I'm Tasha, I'm Igwilf, I'm Zybilna, my legacy will endure forever, and you all watch as the energy from her starts swirling out of her and back towards Veronica, who becomes more and more physical as this is happening. And Nika, she turns and she looks at you and she says, this will not stop me. Whatever hell I end up in, I will escape. I will find you. I will end you in your line. Oh, wait, I already ended your line. Both of yours. As she continues to drain away and fall down to her knees.
You live petty and you die petty. You absolute wretched monster.
Desmond dashes to her and grabs her by her throat and says,
You tell me where my mother is right now. Right before your energy is gone.
Detect thoughts.
Roll it.
I believe that's a save from
she
them.
has to roll. Sorry.
Yeah, she has to save. It's a wisdom save of 14.
Valentine. She does show you something.
I'm listening for the exact moment after he asks, where is my mother?
Mm-hmm. She does show you something. It's not what you expect. And it brings you no peace. And I will tell you separately what you see in Zybilna's final moments as the energy erupts out of her. And everything starts to shake and crumble here. As with Zybilna gone, Prismere itself begins to collapse and reform. And a very familiar sight greets all of you as the mists come pouring in, claiming this land and retaking it. And as they do, your friend Veronica begins to change. What does Nika look like?
Veronica?
Yes.
you've taken on a rather sinister aspect.
Have I?
I think you look lovely.
I don't mind it.
I like it.
You're
Thank you.
I didn't
beautiful.
like it.
I'm a big fan.
But how do you feel?
Oh. Far better than I ever have. Zabilna. Oh. Her power tingles. It feels wonderful.
Are you saying you drained her of all her power? Because that was quite a piece of power.
Yes, well, her power was not mine.
Right, but you're on our side, right? Like we're on your side.
Sides are a funny thing, aren't they?
You wouldn't happen to have her memories, would you?
Everything around you begins to shake and crumble. What becomes of the land of Prismere?
Prismere starts to sort of disintegrate in random little bursts because you start seeing these trees and roots upshooting through the ground, wrapping around anything and crushing anything that is of stone, anything that is man-made and built. And especially for Desmond and Valentine and Tatiana, you realize that as these shoots are starting to emerge, it's bits of Koshmar taking shape. And it increases in speed, and the air reverberates with these booming sounds that almost make your eardrums rattle. And you almost have to cover your eyes at points because these flashes of disintegration and the dust that's in the air starts filtering even through your eyelashes, clouding your vision. And as you blink, as the eruptions and the booms and the crumbling subside, you see what appears to be Koshmar. But I need perception checks from everyone.
And beyond what you see, more importantly, you feel the crushing heavy weight of being in a dread domain.
1d2.
At 20.
Dirty 20.
30-20 as well.
14.
Ooh.
So as you look around, Koshmar, at first glance, looks like how it does in all its glory. But Valentine, the red roses aren't red by nature. As you look at them more closely, they're coated in bright red blood. A willow tree near you, Tatiana, really isn't a willow tree. When you look at it directly, it's twisted and contorted skeletons whose death shrouds are dangling from what would be branches of arms. And you realize that when you look at things from the corner of your eye, it is gorgeous, it is beautiful, it is pure and wonderful. But when you look at it more closely, look beneath the surface, you see the vines are snakes winding their way through decay. You see that the ground, in some places, as you step down, it's not dark green moss. It's this ichor that seeps up and through and around your shoes. You see any creatures that should be moving around look tattered, almost as if the fur is falling off in patches. And you realize that they're all undead. That Koshmar has been resurrected in its former glory, but in its undead form.
And
And Nika stands in the center with vines emerging from various parts of her body, winding in and out, as if she herself has become part of Koshmar.
And before you stands the Dark Lord Voronika of the dread domain of Koshmar.
Gods, no. Goddess, no. If we're back, if we're back, then that means he can find me again. That.
Aslan?
There you are, Uriah. And there you are, my dear.
Oh, hello. Long time no speak.
Very well done indeed, and well played, if I may.
Yes, we must catch up soon. I have a feeling we have much to discuss.
Indeed. The crown, it suits you, I think.
I thought it'd be a good fit. I wonder how long it'll take Stroh to realize that the winds have shifted.
He is a fool. But even he must see what is plainly before his face, I think.
Well, here's to hoping. Oh, and speaking of Strahd, Desmond, your darling brother. He's been amusing Strahd for quite a while. If you want to save him, I suggest you go and say hello to Strahd. But for now, I think I need to get used to my own domain. And maybe I'll see you all later. Oh, and by the way, thank you very much for your assistance. It won't go unforgotten. I'll keep it in consideration. But for now, Koshmar is mine, as it always should have been, as it was always rightfully, as the one who always stayed by it dutifully and enduringly, unlike others who laid claim to it. And as she says this, a mist starts emerging from the trees and from around the vines. And while it looks similar to the mist of Barovia, there is a distinct green tinge to them, and her eyes take on this dark, blank, black tone to them as this green mist envelops you all and wraps around you, hiding any last glimpse of Koshmar and Voronika.
I'll see you soon.
Yes, you will.
Moments later, you all move through the mist and find yourself in a scraggly woods where nearby the sounds of an organ can be heard in games and cheers. The carnival can't be far away.
Desmond, I'm so very sorry. I am myself again. He only stopped in to congratulate Veronica on her ascension.
I don't think I can ever congratulate her. And I don't know what to say. With you all, have gone through hell and back to try to save her. Found out that I actually killed her. Out of control of myself. And the first thing she did was to create home. A horrible, dead, undead version of home. See, I have a little bit of a lack of words, but simultaneously, relief. I know what happened. I know my mother's alive. And sadly, while I killed Veronica out of my control, I am not responsible for the domain that she now holds. It was a very bittersweet everything. And I still have no idea where my father is. So,
Sounds like we're all heading to Strahd.
sounds that way.
Yeah. Someone's actually turned slightly away and struggling not to just break down at what Sibylna told them.
Uriah
She
will
does-
actually.
What was that, Finn?
Oh, she has no clue how she can face Isolde anymore.
Finn, more than anything, the image that you find springing back into your mind, unbidden again and again, is that image of Isolde cradling her brother's dead body, wailing.
Mm.
Uriah?
Fen actually feels a hand on her shoulder and looks over to see it's Uriah. Fen, are you all right?
No. And Uriah, if depending on how close he is, there are tears coming out of her eyes.
We'll get to the bottom of this. I'm sure we'll get through this all together. It's horrid, I know, but I'm sure we will.
I can't save her. Sibylna did this, and I can't save Isolde. And now she's dead.
Dead or gone, at any rate. I'm not sure if something like her can die.
But no, I'm not all right, Uriah. I don't know if I will be.
Gonna reach for Tatiana's hands.
I pull away. Valentine. What was Sibylna going to say that happened to Jibaku? Jibaku, who raised me, who gave me family, who gave me purpose. I didn't want to hear, but now all I can think about is what I might have heard.
She wasn't going to say anything that could ever comfort any of us.
You're right.
And maybe somewhere in Nika, that information exists now. And we'll see her again. I'm sure of it. Poshmar has not been our home in a long time, but I swear to you, I will make us a new one.
I don't know where home is except for you, my friend.
I'll find it. I promise.
Nahara will take, for the first time, just gently, Desmond's hand. And she just slowly looks up at him and says, I know what it's like to lose everything. And I'll do everything I can to help you find what you're looking for. And I'm so very sorry.
Okay. Thank you. Just need to practice my blades and
And
get stronger and prepare because more is coming, I'm sure of it.
And here, on the edge of the carnival, staring headlong with having to face an impossible foe in a terrible land. Having gained revenge, but lost love in the process, is a good place for us to stop.